Trauma-informed care. The care participants that you'll be paired with will fall into one of two categories: a caregiver of a senior, 55 or older, or someone who has served in the military. This could be a caregiver or care recipient. Though we intend to have more specific training on how to support those who have been negatively affected by their time in the military service, for now, a trauma-informed approach can serve as a good model in gaining rapport with someone who may have issues with trust due to being traumatized. As you can see from this visual, there are 5 suggestions in order to form a healthy bond with your client. Safety. In the initial meetings with clients, use a soft approach, being very aware of their comfort levels around topics and ideas, even physical movement. Prove your trustworthiness by keeping your word, being on time, and keeping consistent boundaries. Give your client plenty of choices around activities and even conversation tempo, empowering them to contribute to decisions. Make their experience a collaboration instead of having a certain agenda. Following these simple principles should ensure a positive connection with your assigned care participants. For some of you, volunteering is something you've done for a lifetime. For some, this is your first assignment. The next section will be a review for some and new insights for others. The focus of the care team is to build a strong relationship with the care participants. Those who listen have a stronger relationship. Deep listening. It is said there are 2 types of listening: listening to understand and listening to respond. We have all experienced both of these. Which one makes you feel heard and cared about? I think we can agree that speaking with someone who is obviously listening to understand our needs, wants, or point of view is going to be someone you will much more readily want to connect with, rather than someone who is listening to respond. And that's the person who kind of waits till you finish talking so that they can interject something, usually about themselves, without having that response of knowing that you've been heard. In recent years, there's been a focus on active listening, which is described as the act of consciously listening to hear what someone is saying, being completely focused on their words without distraction. This has been a really helpful practice. But as you begin to work with care participants, probably especially care recipients who may suffer from memory loss or have aphasia or other verbal difficulties, a shift into deep listening might be more helpful. Deep listening is described as the goal of deep listening is to acquire information, understand a person or situation, and experience connection. By listening carefully when someone speaks, we build trust, set the foundation for a healthy relationship, cultivate empathy and compassion, and forge a strong bond. This quote from Rachel Naomi Remen, I think, says it all. Listening creates a holy silence. When you listen generously to people, they can hear truth in themselves, often for the first time. And in the silence of listening, you can know yourself in everyone. Cultivating compassion. Compassion is defined as an emotion that is a sense of shared suffering, most often combined with a desire to alleviate or reduce the suffering of another, to show special kindness to those who suffer. Compassion essentially arises through empathy and is often characterized through actions. Whether you're new to volunteering or been contributing your time for years, you are probably already a compassionate, caring individual. But with every volunteer assignment comes new and interesting challenges, and you may run across a personality, experience, or environment that requires you to dig deeper into your compassionate reserve. To cultivate compassion, this attribute of compassion, experts agree. Begin with self-compassion. Take care of your needs first. You can't serve water from an empty well. I mean, in other words, this could be making sure that you've had a good night's sleep before you visit the care participants. Have something to eat before you go over. Get a cup of coffee if you love coffee or tea. Just take care of your needs first before you go to see the care participants. Relax judgment. Relax judgment. Recognize that the opinions, environment, and religious affiliations of the clients that you work with are a collection of personal choices that can remain with them. They are not yours to absorb or contradict. Sometimes it's useful after if you've been with someone who is very insistent that you see things their way. It's nice to go for a walk afterwards, or take a shower, or see a friend. Take some deep breaths to just kind of release the opinions and advice of others. Be present and listen. Compassion flourishes through acts of kindness, and there is none greater than being generously accessible to another.